Hello, welcome. Today we have a very special guest. Welcome, Bridget Heos. Say hello, Bridget.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Great, thanks for having me.
Well, of course. Now we want to learn everything about you.
Okay.
So let's start off with where you're from.
I'm from Kansas City, and I live in Kansas.
Wait, I thought Kansas City was in Missouri.
Yes, I was born in Kansas City, Missouri, but now I live in Kansas, but not Kansas City. That's the area.
It's a little confusing.
It is confusing.
So what do you love about Kansas?
My favorite part about Kansas is the prairie ecosystem. It's beautiful. If you ever get to go to the Kanza Prairie, Kanza Prairie. Okay. It's near K-State, the university, and to me it is like heaven on earth, and that's something I love about Kansas.
So we brought you on the show because you're an author.
Yes.
That's what we want to talk about. So,
okay.
Tell us, how long ago did you start writing?
I started writing about 15 years ago. Well, that's when I started writing books, but of course I wrote when I was a kid for school, and I also wrote for fun, and I even had a writing job when I was a kid.
Wait, well, tell us about that. So what was a writing job for a kid?
Well, I would write plays, and my friend and I would do this together, and the neighborhood kids would come practice the plays all summer, and then the parents would buy tickets to get into the play, which my friend and I were able to keep because it was kind of like we were running a camp almost. And then we also got pizzas donated, and then we would sell the pizza slices. So that was our summer job.
What? And how old were you?
5th grade.
What? That's amazing. You're like a natural-born entrepreneur.
Right. Well, I had to adapt because I wanted to be in plays and be a star. But my voice sounds a little like a frog when I sing, and so that wasn't working out. So that's why I started writing the plays.
You know, a lot of authors are either fiction writers or nonfiction writers, but you do both.
Yes, I write both. I started out writing nonfiction because my oldest son loved nonfiction. It was almost like he was allergic to fiction because when I would open a fiction book, he would hide his face.
Wow.
And so he wanted to read the nonfiction, and I was writing for newspapers at the time, and so I thought, I wonder if I could write these books, and that's what I started doing. And then I moved into fiction also.
Yeah, and so I read that your first book, nonfiction book, was a book about Jay-Z, is that right?
That's right.
And so what does it look like doing research for a nonfiction book like that?
Well, the research for that book, because I didn't interview him. That it was called an unauthorized biography, but it still had to be true. Unauthorized doesn't mean like write whatever you want. Obviously, we wanted it to be true and fair, and so it involved reading articles. And he was quite famous as an artist when I wrote it. I think now he's more on the business side, but so it was just reading the articles and making sure they were true by double checking and then writing the story. And he has a great, story, and so it kind of wrote itself once I did the research.
One thing I wanted to ask you about is a fiction book that you wrote a while ago, Mustache Baby.
Right.
And from what I hear, and you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
That's based on a true story. Or it's based on a number of true stories, is that right?
That's right, yes. Almost everything in that book is true. And it was things that my sons did when they were little. So the serial criminal where he scoops out the cereal from his brother's bowl, the piggy bank robber, the train track robber also. That was all things my sons did, and I just put it in the story and had the baby have a mustache.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love it. And so now you brought some books with you here.
Yes.
And these are the new books. Let's talk
right.
about these. So the one you got displayed right here. Let's talk about this. Now, is that a virus?
It's a virus. Yes. This is what a rhinovirus looks like, and I have a special. I have a special hat for it.
Whoa!
That I can wear. So a virus looks kind of like this.
Wow. Well, they look kind of silly.
They do. Yeah. They're. You don't see them in real life because they're so small. Did you know you could take a single grain of salt and fit 70,000 viruses onto that grain of salt?
Whoa.
So it's not something you can see with your bare eyes, but they look kind of like this and like this.
Wow. And so, I mean, I don't want to, no spoilers.
Right.
What kinds of things would we learn about viruses in your book?
Well, it's all about how a virus invades cells and then the white blood cells fight back.
All right, now you have a fiction book here too, a new fiction book.
I do.
It looks very interesting. I'd like to hear about this.
Okay, so this book is called Santa Jaws, and I wrote this book because when I was little, I watched a really scary movie about sharks, and I was so scared of sharks that not only was I scared to go in the ocean, but also like the deep end in the swimming pool. And I was even afraid to flush the toilet because I thought a shark would come out. And so I was always getting in trouble for that. But I wanted to write a book about sharks that was not scary. And so I wrote Santa Jaws. And it's a rhyming book, but there are actual shark species in the book. I could never leave my nonfiction behind. And you see all the species of sharks in the back. And I am no longer afraid of sharks. I've even gotten to swim with sharks at the ocean because I know now that they're, not like no offense, not monsters. They're good monsters like you.
Yep.
And they're not out to get us. And it's fun to learn about, like with viruses, the people who helped and did something about it and created like the smallpox vaccine, for instance, which has just saved millions and millions of people and it has been eradicated. It's incredible. So yeah, I love learning about science. When I see that a scientist is learning about a topic, I know that scientist cares, and that makes me feel better about whatever it is.
Yeah. All right, so we're almost out of time here.
Okay.
But I do want to play a game with you if you'd like.
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna play a game called hold on a second. Truth or Dare. So would you like to pick truth or would you like to pick dare?
I'll do dare.
Dare. Okay.
Yes.
So for dare, do you want to play a game called Fortunately, Unfortunately?
Sure.
Fortunately, I just got a raise at work.
Oh, unfortunately, inflation has raised the cost of everything.
Fortunately, this is already too real. Fortunately, I just got a big inheritance.
Oh, unfortunately, that means someone died.
Oh, whoops.
maybe we should start over.
I got this. Fortunately, they were very old, and it was their time to go, so they're now pain-free.
Unfortunately, they were carrying with them a family secret that you really needed to know, and they forgot to tell you.
But fortunately, they came back as a ghost and let me know. Bridget, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This is the first time I've ever been on the band show, so thank you very much.
Well, we won't make it the last for sure.
Okay, that sounds good.
So we're going to end the show the way we always end it.
Okay.
We're both going to look at the camera and say goodbye. So I'll count down from 3 and then we'll do that, okay?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, goodbye!
Goodbye.